Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Scot Goes Pop. My name is James Kelly, and I said in my blog post earlier that I was thinking about maybe doing some more audio content as a kind of transitional step towards moving towards doing more video content, one step at a time. And so I thought I'd start as I mean to go on, and just a short audio recording this evening about a YouGov poll that I found on the Stats for Lefties site on Twitter. I can't find it on the YouGov site, which is a remarkably unuser-friendly site. It's amazing how often you can't find polls that are mentioned elsewhere, but I'm sure Stats for Lefties is a reliable account, so I'm sure this is a real poll, even though I can't find it. And it's about, do you support Israel's actions in Gaza, asked to the British public at large. Unfortunately, if I could find the data tables, I would know whether the Scottish results were in line with this. I have a feeling probably the Scottish results would be even more hostile towards Israel's actions than the British results, because the British results are support for Israel's actions in Gaza 18%, opposition 55%. But the breakdown for political parties, supporters of each political parties is also given, and that's really interesting because the only party whose supporters actually back Israel is Reform UK, which sticks out like a sore thumb. 45% of Reform voters support what Israel have done, 28% opposed. Every other party, including the Conservatives, their voters are opposed to what Israel are doing, and that means obviously the Conservatives are very firmly at odds with their own voters. Kemi Badenoch has been very supportive of Israel, almost absurdly so, but Labour, that's where the real interest lies, because overwhelmingly Labour voters are opposed to what Israel are doing. 73% opposed, 8% in favour. And it's very hard to believe, people might be sceptical that Gaza could be changing party political voting intentions in the UK, but when you have figures like that and you think about what these voters are hearing Keir Starmer saying, or have been hearing him say in the past about how, there's no genocide in Gaza, I know what I'm talking about and there's no genocide, that must surely be having an effect on Labour support and must surely be pushing Labour voters towards probably the Greens, maybe the Liberal Democrats. So it's unfortunate that we don't have the Scottish figures for that. But what I also spotted when I was having a look at the YouGov website, what I did find was a poll about the decision to give 16 and 17-year-olds the vote in the UK. And we do have a regional breakdown for that poll. I mean, it's not surprising that there's opposition in Britain as a whole to 16 and 17-year-olds getting the vote, because that's just sort of natural conservatism about attitudes towards younger people. You would probably, if you asked about corporal punishment in schools, you would probably find out that people are still in favour of corporal punishment in schools, however ludicrous that may seem. So it's not surprising that among the British public as a whole, almost a 2-to-1 majority against votes at 16, 32% in favour, 57% against. But in Scotland, that's the one region where it's almost even Stevens, 45% in favour, 46% against. And of course, it's probably not a coincidence that Scotland is the one place where there is long experience of votes at 16. So it's another sign that when you actually experience something like this, it doesn't seem as strange or unnatural as you think it does. And probably in a few years, people will find it strange that there was ever any doubt or any question mark over whether it was appropriate to give people the vote at 16 years of age. And I also found another poll which was quite astonishing, really. Do you support or oppose Scotland becoming a country independent from the rest of the United Kingdom, which was asked to the British public at large? It seems to have been asked, if I'm reading it correctly, to the rest of the UK. In other words, it wasn't asked in Scotland at all, just the rest of the UK, England and Wales, not Northern Ireland. And the result was very close. Support Scottish independence, 31%. Oppose Scottish independence, 42%. I mean, I can't remember what results on this question have been like in the past, but I don't think they've ever been as close as that I can remember. And, well, I suppose you could say it's people wanting rid of Scotland because they fall for the mythology about us being a drain on the English purse. But whatever the reasons are, who cares what the reasons are? Because the stronger the support is for Scottish independence, obviously the higher chance it is of that actually happening, because there isn't going to be support for a government that sort of stands in the way, almost vexatiously. If say 80% of the public in England and Wales were opposed to Scottish independence, it would be much easier for a government to be intransigent. So that's actually quite an encouraging result. Just having a look at the regional breakdown, the strongest support is in the north of England, 37%, so it's level pegging there. And the others are, well, more or less the same everywhere else. Not level pegging, but more or less the same as the GB-wide figure. So yeah, it's interesting. Economically, do you think England and Wales would be financially better off or worse off if Scotland became independent, or would it make no difference? 22% say better off, 23% say worse off, no difference 30%, don't know 25%. So that suggests that people haven't fallen for the mythology, and there's no really clear view that Scotland is a drain on the English public purse. So that's really interesting. And so there must be something else going on for almost a third of people in England and Wales to support independence. So what an encouraging result that is. So anyway, that's the first of these audio files that I'm going to be doing, or plan to be doing, and so I hope you've enjoyed it. And of course I will continue to post these on the blog, so the blog will continue. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'd be grateful if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's the whole point, trying to build up the channel, so that would be great. So that's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.